OMG, this just happened, and the entire world is still trying to process it. Lisa has just delivered one of the most talked about appearances at the Met Gala 2026, and what makes this moment so powerful is not just the visual impact, but the layers behind it that people are only beginning to understand. Stay with this story, because the deeper you go, the more unbelievable it becomes. The moment Lisa stepped onto the Met Gala carpet, something shifted instantly. It wasn't loud. It wasn't chaotic. It was something far more intense, a silent kind of shock that spreads through a crowd when they realize they are witnessing something rare. Cameras froze for a split second before flashing uncontrollably. Photographers leaned forward, trying to capture angles that could even begin to explain what they were seeing. And the audience? Completely locked in. At first glance, her look appears almost pure. A white, flowing silhouette that reflects light with an almost unreal softness. The kind of elegance that feels timeless. But then, as the cameras zoom in and the movement begins, a strange detail emerges, something that immediately disrupts that sense of familiarity. There are more arms than there should be. Not a trick of the light. Not a simple accessory. But a carefully engineered illusion that introduces additional sculptural arms rising around her upper body, lifting and shaping the veil above her head. The effect is surreal. It doesn't just look different, it feels different. It creates a moment where the human eye hesitates, trying to separate reality from design. And this is where curiosity turns into obsession. Because once you notice it, you can't unsee it. The entire internet begins to rewind, replay, zoom in. Clips start circulating within minutes. Viewers pause frames, trying to understand how the illusion works. And as the world zooms closer, the details become even more overwhelming. This entire look is embedded with over 66,000 crystals. Every single piece is placed with intention. Not randomly scattered, but carefully aligned to reflect light in a way that enhances movement, depth, and structure. Under the Met Gala lighting, the crystals don't just shine, they pulse. They react to every step she takes, creating a living surface that shifts with her presence. Now think about what that actually means. Thousands upon thousands of individual elements, each attached by hand, each contributing to a final result that lasts only minutes on the carpet, but echoes across the world for days, weeks, even years. The craftsmanship alone transforms this from fashion into something closer to a masterpiece. And yet, the most fascinating part isn't even the crystals. It's the concept. Because those additional arms, they are not generic shapes. They are based on scans of Lisa's own hands. That means what you're seeing is not just an artistic exaggeration, it's a replication. A duplication of her identity, extended beyond what is physically possible. It blurs the line between body and design in a way that feels almost futuristic. And if you're still here, there's a deeper layer that most people completely miss on first viewing. The arms are lifting the veil. That detail changes everything. In traditional symbolism, a veil often represents mystery, identity, or something hidden. Usually, it is lifted by someone else. But here, the illusion suggests that Lisa is lifting her own veil, multiple versions of herself revealing who she is. It's a quiet but powerful message about control, identity, and self-definition. This is where the look transforms from something visually shocking into something intellectually engaging. It invites interpretation. It invites conversation. And most importantly, it invites people to keep watching. Because every time you look at it, you notice something new. The structure, the balance, the way the additional arms are positioned to create symmetry without feeling static. The way the crystals are distributed to guide the eye upward toward the veil. Nothing about this is accidental. Everything is deliberate. And that level of intention is exactly why this moment exploded across the internet within minutes. Search trends surged. Social platforms filled with reactions. Some people described it as the most iconic look of the night. Others called it bold, surreal, even slightly unsettling, but in a way that kept them watching. Because it challenges expectations. It doesn't just present beauty, it questions it. And in an event like the Met Gala, where pushing boundaries is the entire point, that's exactly what creates dominance. Lisa didn't just attend. She defined the conversation. But let's take a step back for a second, because this moment didn't come out of nowhere. Over the past few years, Lisa has been steadily building a presence that goes far beyond music. Global campaigns, high-fashion collaborations, front-row appearances at major shows, each step carefully expanding her influence into the fashion world. And with each appearance, the expectations grew. Tonight, those expectations reached a peak. And instead of meeting them, she surpassed them. That's what makes this moment different. Because in a room filled with some of the most powerful names in entertainment and fashion, standing out requires more than just a beautiful outfit. It requires a concept strong enough to compete with everything else happening at the same time. And somehow, this look didn't just compete. It dominated. Now here's something to think about. Why does a moment like this keep people watching? It's not just the visuals. It's the mystery. The human brain is naturally drawn to things it doesn't fully understand. When something looks almost real but slightly impossible, it creates tension. That tension keeps viewers engaged. It forces them to stay longer, to analyze, to question. And that's exactly what this look does. It creates a loop. You watch it once, you notice the arms. You watch it again, you notice the crystals. You watch it again, you start thinking about the meaning. And before you realize it, you've spent far more time on this single moment than you expected. That's not accidental. That's design on every level. From the concept to the execution to the way it's being consumed globally. And this is where the bigger picture comes in. Because moments like this don't just define an event. They define an era. They set a new standard for what audiences expect. They raise the bar for creativity, for storytelling, for how fashion can communicate something deeper than appearance. And once that standard is set, everything that follows is compared to it. So the question becomes, what happens next? Because when someone delivers a moment this strong, the world doesn't just react, it waits. It anticipates. It wonders how that level can possibly be matched or even exceeded. And that anticipation is powerful. It keeps audiences connected. It keeps conversations alive. It keeps the story going. So now I want to hear from you. Did Lisa just deliver the most unforgettable Met Gala moment of 2026? Or is this just the beginning of something even bigger? Because if this is the level we're starting at, the future is going to be something we can't even predict yet. Drop your thoughts, stay tuned, and don't look away, because moments like this don't happen often, and when they do, they change everything. And just when it feels like the moment has reached its peak, there's still one more layer that keeps people coming back. Lisa didn't rely on movement, dramatic poses, or exaggerated reactions to create impact. In fact, her calm, controlled presence is what amplifies everything around her. While the outfit is complex, almost overwhelming in detail, her expression remains composed, grounded, and intentional. That contrast between chaos and control is what makes the entire visual even more powerful. If you slow the footage down, you begin to notice how every step is measured. The crystals catch the light differently with each movement, creating a shifting glow that feels almost alive. The additional arms don't just exist, they frame her, guide your attention, and subtly direct the narrative without a single word being spoken.